Alright y'all, so as you guys can see, picked up a pair of Air Max 720s and this, like, I don't even know the colorway on these. I thought they were really dope and I even considered keeping these for myself because these fit me really well. But I picked these up from Burlington for 50 bucks. Thankfully I left the tag on here still, but definitely something super disappointing. I was going to take the pictures and I just touched the bubble slightly. And as you guys can see, compared to this bubble still gives, you know, it's really firm, the Max bubble should be. But this one's super soft. Even in the thumbnail I shared the picture of me like stepping down on it, and it's way too squishy. So if I was to ship this out, this would definitely come back as a return. The buyer would definitely be unhappy with this. This is probably actually super dangerous, so I'm definitely gonna let the people at Burlington know. I'm actually glad I didn't even list this because I most likely probably would have kept this because I really did like how it fit, but this size in particular is flooded online right now. This is a size 13 in women's, so it's a size 11.5 in men's. So the market on this was definitely flooded in this particular size. So it is what it is. These shoes will be going back, but like I said, I'm just glad that I was able to spot this because this would have been a very quick return as soon as. What's good, y'all? Akil here, back with another video, and today is Monday, and as you guys know, I usually share all of my weekend sales, but for those of you that don't know, I was actually out of town celebrating with my wife. Her birthday was on Thursday, so we went out of town for a little bit. And anytime I'm out of town, I usually never put my eBay store on vacation mode because I've heard terrible things about when people put their store on vacation mode. So for me, all I do is just usually push my handling time back just a few days, as much as sometimes 7 or 10 days depending on how long I'll be out of town. And I got a ton of sales between that time, so I'm not gonna go through all of those sales. I'm just gonna share some of my favorite ones and some of the sales that I think stand out the most, and will probably just give you guys some of the most value. Now the surprising thing is, the same day that I picked up these Air Max 720s, unfortunately these will be going back, but I picked up like 5 or 6 other pairs of shoes that day as well, and I think 3 or 4 of those already sold. So I'll run through some of those sales really quickly, tell you guys how much I picked them up for, how much they sold for, and I'm just gonna share maybe 8 or 10 sales altogether. The day we actually left, sales were really good. I'll put up a screenshot of the daily sales for those. The next couple of days it kind of did slow down because of course I told you I had to change my handling time just so that I would have enough time to ship some of those orders out. And when your handling time is pushed back, especially nowadays with USPS, their shipping times are very delayed. We're experiencing a lot of delays right now in terms of shipping. So buyers are kind of wary and apprehensive when they see a delayed handling time. So of course sales were slower, but then when the weekend came around, when I actually got back, Saturday and Sunday, sales picked back up really well. So I was definitely glad about that. But like I said, let me show you guys some of the sales that I think will give you guys the most value. I did sell a couple hard goods, but nothing crazy, nothing that's gonna, like, you know, surprise anybody. So let's just jump into that really quickly. Alright y'all, so first up is a pair of these Reebok Kamikazes, and I actually put Shawn Kemp as a keyword in the listing only because I know this was Shawn Kemp's signature shoe, and the Kamikazes are like a very popular shoe. People that love this particular style of shoe, when it comes to Reeboks, it's probably Iverson, Shawn Kemp, and Shaq that, like, everybody really appreciates their Reebok shoes. Everything else, I don't know, kind of on the fence about that. But these shoes sold for 100 bucks. I actually picked these shoes up from a thrift store called, well, it's not really a thrift store, it's actually like a consignment shop similar to Buffalo Exchange and Plato's. It's called Uptown Cheapskate. I don't go there too often because their prices are really expensive, but I think I spent like $24 on those shoes. They were actually on clearance because they were probably sitting in that store for a while. So this was a really good sale. They sold for over 100 bucks. I'm gonna save some money on fees, and that's always a good thing. Next up, that was like kind of not surprising, but it took a while. This was a Nintendo Wii Bundle. I had a Wii Motion Plus controller, all the additional attachments and everything like that. This one sold for $86.99. I was selling these Wiis just a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. These Wiis were selling for about 100 plus. I think the market is kind of recorrecting itself. They're not selling for that much money anymore, at least for me. So this one sold for $86.99. It took a while for this one to actually sell, but you know, I wanted to price it a little, still on the higher end, because the Wii Motion Plus controllers, those black controllers, those usually do fetch a little more money. So I wanted to make sure that I incorporated that in my asking price, and I had to wait a little longer, but it is what it is. Another really good sale that happened this weekend was the pair of Nike Air Huaraches in that like blue, white, and black colorway. Actually, I even got a couple comments. Somebody said I should keep those. Oh, those was like the Nipsey blue colorway. Really dope out, and it was my size. But as you guys know, I'm all about getting this cash. So I definitely went ahead and listed those, and those sold I think either the same day I listed it or the very next day for $100. Now the funny thing is, when I was checking the comps, I was on the fence at first because I seen similar listings, the same exact shoe, just like 2 or 3 days prior, sell for like 85, 75, some sold for about 90. So I was thinking I was gonna do the same thing, but I just, you know, trusted my gut and I listed it for $100 and it sold super quick. So that's a really good tip that I got for you guys. If you guys checking the comps and you see a really dope shoe, or any item for that matter, but you're seeing lower sales, but then just periodically, you know, within that same month, you're seeing some sell for 100, you're seeing some sell for 70, don't shortchange yourself. Price your stuff kind of on the higher end and just wait for the right buyer to come along, because especially when you're dealing with like just popular items from other retail stores like Ross and Burlington, it's always going to be a race to the bottom. So you definitely want to make sure that you're pricing your items correctly. And like I said before, the shoe sold for over $100, so I'm going to save some money on fees. Next up is this pair of Zoom Spiridons. Now I picked these up from Ross for $55. Usually people don't even pay attention to Spiridons, but for me, I know those shoes sold really well and they sold for $115, so I was definitely glad about that. Something else that sold that was actually interesting, because we did get a ton of sales. I'm not going to front, this week, these past few days was really good, but some of these sales, I sold some stuff for $5.99, so I'm not even going to waste your time with that. Another really big sale, this is something else that came from that Burlington haul. This is a pair of those Nike Air Max Pluses in that white and sail blue colorway. Really dope. Once again, size 10.5. Those sold for $150 within an hour of me listing it. So the only thing that lets me know is that I probably priced it a little too low. I'm not exactly sure what's the big deal with this particular shoe. I know Air Max Pluses are dope, but those sold really quick and they went overseas. I think they went to Australia. So shout out to Australia. They bought the shoes they support. I'm always down for that. Now, something else that surprised me, this is a pair of Nike Kyries. These are the Rocket 5 All-Stars. Now, I had these in the inventory for maybe 6 to 7 months, maybe even a little longer than that. I know I've had these before quarantine came around. So these finally sold for $90. I had these listed for $100 for a while. I actually think I started at $110, then I lowered it down to $100. I realized I wasn't getting $100 after having it listed for like 3 months. Then I finally dropped it down to $90 and it finally did sell. So sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to be patient with your prices, but then you also got to recognize when items aren't moving and you just got to slash the price. Something else that stood out to me, at least, we sold a bunch of Adidas shoes. That was really good. I think 5 or 6 pairs sold in a short amount of time, so that's always a really good thing. Next up, we got a pair of these Nike Air Max 720s in this black and fuchsia colorway. I was getting a ton of like messages for this shoe in particular. I don't accept offers on a lot of my items anymore. If I do, I usually charge shipping. But seldomly do I ever like have items in my inventory that I'm accepting offers, and I was getting a ton of messages on these. I listed them for $115. A lot of people had these, a lot of sales I seen for like anywhere between $110 and $120. So I just priced mine right down the middle. They sold within about 3 or 4 days after listing it, and this was just a really good flip. Really dope shoe. My wife loves 720s, but you know, when she sees that a shoe sells for some decent profit, she's just like, go ahead and sell them. So that worked out just fine. And last but not least, we got a pair of Air Max 270s React in this black and green. I think it's called Electro Green to be exact. I picked these up from Ross. These were on the more expensive end of Ross. These were like $59.99. Not exactly sure why they were so expensive. And I actually was surprised when I did pick these up, because when I seen them, they had a sticker on the inside and it said size 9. So I'm like, size 9 is a really good size. These should sell really quickly. Once I got home, I realized that they were actually a size 7. So I was kind of nervous about it, but I realized that there wasn't a ton of size 7s listed on eBay. So I said, what the hell, let me just go for it. And I priced mine at $105. Once again, trying to save money on fees. Those sold within about maybe 2 weeks after listing them. And you know, that was a really good sale. I even got a message from the buyer. They said, can you ship as soon as possible? It's a gift. So people are still buying gifts for people, whether it's birthday gifts. Some people even shopping, you know, early Christmas gifts. I always tell you guys, fourth quarter is around the corner. And now is the time to just be prepared, you know, for that influx of sales. For me personally, brand new with tags, brand new in the box, those type of items usually sell best. But you know, it is what it is. If you're thrifting and you do really well thrifting, just do what you do and just be prepared for that fourth quarter influx of sales. Like I said, I'm gonna go back today and drop these off. I might also shoot a video, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Hopefully Burlington restock. Hopefully we got some restocks from Ross as well. So like I said, definitely be on the lookout for that. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, if you guys are interested, I got these consistency t-shirts inspired by Nipsey Hussle, of course. So the first link in the description is for that. And also, you guys can use code consistency10 to save 10% off your order. And like I said, I always appreciate the support. We sold out a size XXL, but I'm gonna restock on those really soon, just because I'm pretty sure, you know, it's a more popular size, so I probably should just get some more in stock. So like I said, drop a comment, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Mood just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this.